Next, we're going to look at coordination. Coordination is basically putting things together. It's and structures. Now, we saw one of these earlier, but let's look at this example here in English. The one who claims to be in the light and hates his brother. So we're talking about one thing, the one who does something, the one who claims and the one who hates. But these two things are joined together by this word and, so that it's not just the one who claims, it's not just the one who hates, but it's the one who claims and hates. It's the one who claims to be in the light and hates his brother. So you've got this x plus y kind of structure. So you can say, and you don't always have the word and, but you have, for in this English example, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So there's only one and there, but the commas are also kind of signaling to you that, well, this is one big and structure. And so coordination, it's just the good is coordinated here with the bad and the ugly. The ugly is coordinated with the bad and the good. That's a coordination. You can just think of it as an and structure. And so what goes on with an and structure is that you can take any of the previous things that we've seen. We've seen nominals, we've seen verbals, we've seen participles and infinitives as a particular kind of verbal. Basically the two categories of nominals and verbals, and you can compound them. You can quantitatively augment them. You can add to them in number. You can say, well, I'm not just going to talk about of the God, but I can talk about of the God and the Father. Now that might be two different things. It might be one thing being construed in two different ways. You're going to have to decide based on context. But in either case, you've got two nominals coordinated together by this and structure. So it's bigger, more complex nominal, but it's just being added to numerically, you could say. So let's look at this Greek example. You've got, now this, you should be familiar with this structure after the last couple examples, but the one who claims, ha legon entophoti enai. Now we saw that whole example in the last video. The one who claims in the light to be. And kai ton adelphon autu mizon. So we've got a different nominal cluster right here. And we've got this whole nominal cluster that we saw up in a previous video. We've got the one who claims in the light to be, and mizon, hating, ton adelphon autu, the brother of him. You can think of the word mizon like misogyny or misandry. It's hatred of women, hatred of men. So mizeo means to hate. And so mizon is hating. And so here we've got this coordination between two different things here, two different nominal groups, and they both have a participle. We've got claiming in the light to be, hating his brother. And all of that is in reference to this pointer thing here, the one who is claiming in the light to be and hating his brother. You could have ha mizon, the one who is hating his brother, but instead we've got just a coordination of two different nominal groups with participles. In total, we've got this big nominal group, which is all about one thing being pointed at. That's what this pointer is doing. It's pointing at one thing. What kind of thing is that? It's a thing that is claiming to be in the light, and it is hating his brother. So that's the thing we're talking about here. So this whole line here is one big nominal cluster that is one thing. It's a thing that's doing two different things. Now again, the key is just to recognize that when you have a word like kai, which means and, you're just adding two things together. So you're adding together one thing, which is the thing which is claiming, and you're adding it to the thing which is hating. And so it's just a thing that's claiming and hating. So coordination just ties things together. Let's look at a more complicated example here. We've got panto entokosmo. Now, we've seen this example already before. We've got everything which is entokosmo. So, the article, you really have to be flexible with how you gloss it because it's a pointer thing. Everything which in the world, you could say, is. Everything which is in the world. Which is what? The desire of the flesh. He epithumia te sarkos. And he epithumia ton ophthalmon. The desire of the eyes. And he alazonia tu biu. The pride of life, or the boasting of life. So what you've got here is three nominal groups all added up with kai. And so that's why we got such a complex nominal group. We saw that example previously, and now looking at it. It's long, it's complex, but it's because it's being quantitatively added to. It's being augmented with these kai. and the desire of the eyes, and the pride of life. And then we've got finally the process is from the Father.